Hello dear CMA aspirants from South India. As you all already know, Akash Agarwal Classes has launched for you all 100% English lectures in English for CMA Foundation students giving their examination in December 2025 and onwards. So here I am going to tell you how do you enroll in the batch. You just have to join our WhatsApp community which is given in the link. Fill up the Google form again given in the link and do download our mobile application Akash Agarwal Classes to access the notes. You all know the lectures which we are going to conduct will be 100% covered. There would be no subject which we are not taking care of. So we are going to take care of each and every subject, each and every concept. We are going to take MCQs for you. We are going to provide test papers. We are going to take live mentee sessions as well. Lectures which we are going to take for you all are 100% recorded lectures and not dubbed lectures. And you all know we have exclusive team ready for you all to teach you for your CMA Foundation December 2025 attempt for subject wise as well. And we are uploading the lectures on a weekly basis. All the important links which will be useful to you all are uploaded in the description box. Since we have many students who have cleared CMA examination at all the levels from Akash Agarwal Classes, and to reciprocate the love which we have received from South Indian students, we are here for you all taking lectures 100% in English, so that we can clear your CMA Foundation December 25 attempt together. So keep studying, do watch all the lectures till the end, and do show some love by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and putting up a word in the comment box. Keep studying. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, a very good evening guys. So I am CS Kajal Hande from Akash Agarwal Classes, and I am so excited to do this, what I'm doing right now. So we from AAC, we are based in Pune. I'm sure you guys know we are the exclusive class for CMA. We do not entertain any other profession the way we entertain our CMAs. So yes, this time we are here targeting you guys. Who you? The South Indian audiences. So we are here just for y'all, exclusively for CMA, exclusively for South Indian audiences. So whenever your CMA exams will be coming, I'm talking about CMA Foundation. I just can't stop giving you all good news back to back. So the next good news is, whenever you guys have your CMA Foundation exams, we will be here with an absolutely free of cost batch. You guys will be getting all the recordings, you guys will be getting all the lectures, access to all kinds of mock tests, revisions, marathons, everything possible. So you guys will be getting you have to click this channel and you all will be getting subscribed to everything possible which you all are needing to clear your CMA Foundation exams in the very first attempt. Okay, so yes, I will be telling you guys a lot more about what our entire plan is, but for now, let me just give you a brief introduction about what our classes do, about what I do. So before that guys, before moving ahead, there will be certain links given in the description of this video. Please do not forget to click on those links. Join the WhatsApp group. Why? Because after joining the WhatsApp group, you guys will be getting updates, time to time updates about our marathon sessions, about our questions, about our MCQ bank, about the normal lectures, about your revision sessions, strategy videos, how to clear CMA, etc. Okay, so you will be getting all of them in details. Just do not forget to join the group. Okay, moving on. So as I said, we are exclusively here for y'all. We are exclusively here for our dear South Indian students. We love, the favorite thing that we have here is idli sambar and dosa, and I'm not lying. Trust me, we do that literally on a daily basis. So yes, we can connect personally a lot to y'all. And as I said, I am super excited because I will be teaching you guys law. So yes, I am CS Kajal Hande, and I'm sure being CMA students, you all know what CS is. CS is a company secretary. Okay, so I will be taking care of law. Let it be foundation, let it be inter, let it be final. I will be taking care of law for my dear students. Okay, so you guys will know a lot more about me throughout the process. You guys will know a lot more about what AAC has been exclusively doing for you all. Even in the mid times during our lecture, I will tell you certain things about All India rankers, etc., etc. But yes, before that, let me just tell you, we are here for all our topics of law, which we'll be covering A to Z. Let it be nego, let it be soga, let it be contract, let it be anything. We will be covering the entire law syllabus, okay? And as I said, this is going to be absolutely free of cost, because the love that we have got from our South Indian students, we just can't help but reciprocate it. Okay, so without wasting any much time, let me tell you what we are going to start today. But before that, yes, you all need to know ki, from whom are you exactly learning. So let me just give you my small little introduction. So as I said, I am CS Kajal Hande. I am from Pune. Our classes are based in Pune, but yes, we do have an all India reach. And if I talk about my internship was done from a listed company. It's a company based in Pune itself. I did my internship there, after which I was working with a CA firm which had more than 100 plus chartered accountants, after which I got into teaching. So this is my 6th year of teaching. Y'all can say that, okay? Now, don't judge my age on it, because students often do that. So don't get into that right now. But yes, this was a brief profile about me. Okay, now the thing that we are going to start today, the topic that we'll be starting today is the negotiable instrument. Okay, so I'm sure negotiable instruments, you all must have heard about it. Ki it is something like that. There is some topic called as negotiable instrument in your syllabus. Okay, so now let's start. Negotiable instrument. Okay. Again, no judgments on wallpaper. Negotiable and instrument. Now, what is negotiable, guys? What do you mean by the word negotiable? What do you mean by the word instrument? So, negotiable means freely transferable. Do not forget this, important from MCQ point of view. Also, we will be solving certain MCQs as and when we are done with those respective topics, we will be moving on to the MCQs. Our MCQs, which will cover all the previous year based questions, also the expected questions, the module based questions, the scanner questions, everything we are going to be covering in our session. So you don't have to do anything else. This is, as I said, one-stop solution for clearing CMA Foundation in the very first attempt. Okay, so yes, now what do you mean by negotiable? Negotiable means freely transferable. As I said, what do you mean by the word instrument? Yes, so as we were talking about instrument, negotiable means freely transferable, and instrument means a document. What kind of document? It creates rights and liabilities. It will create rights on one party, it will create liabilities on the other. Okay guys, so once again I'm repeating it. What do you mean by negotiable instrument? Negotiable means freely transferable. It can be transferred from one person to another, to a third person, to a fourth person, and it will go on and on. It can be transferred. There is no problem in transferring this instrument, and this instrument will create rights and liabilities on certain parties. Party 1, it will create right, which is obvious. On party 2, it will create liabilities. Okay. So this is what negotiable instruments are. Now, moving on to the Act. Negotiable Instruments Act, you all need to remember the year, that is 1881. This Act was passed in 1881, after which we have been pretty much following this act time and again. We have certain updates that have been coming up, but yes, the core crux of this act, it was passed in 1881. Okay, so once again, what is a negotiable instrument? A document which creates rights and liabilities, and how is it transferable? Freely, without any restrictions, until and unless something is written on that which stops its transferability. We will be getting into details, but for now you all need to know negotiable instrument is an instrument, is a document which creates rights and liabilities, and it is freely transferable. As simple as that. Okay. Now, if we talk about three types of negotiable instrument. Guys, the law, your law has prescribed three types of negotiable instrument. One is promissory note. The other one is bills of exchange. And the third is check. These three are the prescribed negotiable instruments by law. We can transfer these instruments without any restrictions until and unless something like that has been written. Okay, and also these documents create rights and liabilities on certain parties. Okay. So, as I was saying, promissory note, bills of exchange and check, these are recognized by law. Now, there might be certain negotiable instruments. For example, let's take an example of Andhra Pradesh. So, in Andhra Pradesh, other than these three, there might be used a negotiable instrument as per the custom, as per the usage since ages, since their ancestors, you know, they've been using a particular document as a negotiable instrument. They've been using this document for money exchange. So this might happen. So even this is recognized by law. It's fine if in your particular area a document is being used as a negotiable instrument since ages because that's been a custom. That's absolutely okay. Okay, even that will be included in negotiable instrument. But for now, law has recognized officially three: promissory note, bill of exchange and check. Now, what is exactly a negotiable instrument? Ma'am, we understood it is a document that creates rights and liabilities. Also, we understood that it can be freely transferred until and unless there are certain restrictions written on it. Great, we've understood that. Now, we'll be understanding the characteristics. So, as you can see, the explanation in point number 1, negotiable instrument is payable to a particular person or his order. So, to a particular person or his order. Now, what do you mean by this? To a particular person or his order. What do you exactly mean by this? See, if I have to pay you, okay, and let's consider you want me to pay not you but your sister. But I owe you money. For example, if you've sold me certain goods, I am supposed to give you money. Okay, so now I am taking an example of Shanti Kala. So Shanti Kala is an individual with nice long hair. I hope Shanti Kala likes the way I've drawn her. So yes, Shanti Kala is an individual, and there's another friend of hers, whose name is Kanti Kala. Okay. Now, Shanti Kala goes to Kanti Kala and she says that, you know, I've just got into business and I want you to purchase the goods and services that I've been providing because you're a friend. So you'll be able to give me the genuine reviews. So Shanti Kala sells the goods and services. Obviously, now though they are friends, are we going to do anything for free? Do we anytime do anything for free in this lifetime? Do we do that? No. There's always something that we charge in return, correct? So Shanti Kala sells the goods and services. So can I say Kanti Kala has to give the money? Okay. Kanti Kala right now doesn't have the money. Okay? But Kanti Kala says, Shanti, you are my friend. We are friends since ages. You sell me your goods and services. I will use your goods and services. I will also pay the money. But give me some time. I need some time to pay the money. Okay, so she says, let's consider I will pay the money on 31st December. Okay, Kanti Kala agrees to pay the money on 31st December. She says, I promise to pay. It's a promissory note. We won't get into it right now. We are just doing unit 1. But still, Kanti Kala says, I promise to pay. She gives a commitment. I promise to pay you. Okay, she says that to Shanti Kala. Now, when Shanti Kala, there is this 31st December, and on 31st December, when Kanti Kala goes to Shanti Kala and she says, let's consider not 31st, it's New Year's, so way before that. Let's consider 24th December, okay? So 24th December, Kanti Kala goes to Shanti Kala and she's like, you remember like I had promised that I will pay you and the time has come, so I am going to pay you within the next 6 days. I'll be paying you whatever amount is due. Okay, so let's consider the amount due is rupees 10 lakh. So she says, I'll be paying you rupees 10 lakh. Shantikala says, okay, why not? But the moment when I had sold you the goods and services, I needed the money. But right now, I don't need the money. I think you should give it to my brother, Pushpa. Jhukega nahi sala. Correct? That's what we say here. So whenever we talk about Pushpa, we every time just keep doing this. Okay, the movies, it's like, it's love, the food and the movie. Love it. Okay, so yes, let's get back. So, when they say that, okay, if we talk about the money, Shantikala says, don't give me the money. Give Pushpa the money. He is my brother. Give him the money because he needs to start something new. He's starting a business. So, these 10 lakhs, instead of giving it to me, give it to him. Okay, this is what you mean by particular person or his order. So, this promissory note, either it was paid to this particular person, Shantikala, or her order, whomever she says pay. What is our thing? What, as per Kantikala, what is her responsibility to give the money? Now, if Shantikala wants this, she'll keep it. If she wants the money to go somewhere else, the money will go somewhere else. That's not of our concern. That is not of Kantikala's concern. Understood, guys? Got it? So, this is what your negotiable instrument is. It's not necessary that you have to pay that particular person only. You can also pay to his or her order. Okay? Yes. Now, characteristics of a negotiable instrument. Guys, a negotiable instrument, as I said, it is freely transferable. Negotiable instrument can be transferred from one person to another, to a third person, to a fourth person, to a fifth person, to a sixth person, etc., etc. Yes, a negotiable instrument can be transferred n number of times without any restrictions until and unless the moment you put a restriction, the moment you write there, for example, this is a promissory note and you just write it, it's non-negotiable. The moment you write this, the transferability stops. Okay? So, till the time something like this is expressly not written, the transferability will go on and on and on. Okay? So, yes, as I said, negotiable instrument, it can be freely transferred. Now, it can be done in two ways. Okay? Now, what is the mode of transfer? What do we call this? We call this as mode of transfer. Now, what is the mode of transfer? It can be done either by delivery or it can be done either by endorsement. Now, what do you mean delivery and endorsement? If we are just giving it, like there is a blank promissory note, I'm giving it to you, you're passing it to someone else, that person is passing it to someone else, this is known as delivery. Okay? But if I talk about endorsement is I am writing someone's name on it. Okay, that is endorsement. So, endorsement, you know that you're writing someone's name and then you're giving it. Delivery, you're just handing it over. So, these are the two ways that the negotiable instrument can be given. Now, obviously, in case of endorsement, the name is already written. Correct? So, the money is going to go to that person. It won't be negotiated further. But in case of delivery, can it be negotiated? Can it be transferred further? Absolutely, because no name has been written. Clear? So, yes. Now, for example, this promissory note, what is exactly a promissory note? I'll tell you in short. We'll be doing this in the next unit, but just I'm telling you in short. I promise to pay Pushpa a sum of rupees 10 lakh. Then in bracket, I'll just spell the whole thing. On 24th December 2025 at Kodaikanal. Okay, so and then of course I'll just sign Shah Rukh Khan. नाम तो सुना ही होगा. So yes, I'll be passing certain Hindi comments, okay, in the middle of our lectures, and I hope you guys understand them. Okay, so yes. So Shah Rukh Khan is written. This is just a brief promissory note. There are a number of details. There is stamping. There's a particular format. Okay, but right now I'm just to explain the whole thing. I've given you a brief. So I promise to pay. I am promising to pay Pushpa a sum of rupees 10 lakhs. So has the sum been written? Yes, it's been written in details. Now who is this guy? This is Shah Rukh Khan. So I promise, matlab, who is it doing? Who is promising? Shah Rukh Khan. He signed it here, so Shah Rukh Khan is promising. Has he written the date? 24th December. Yes. So this is the maturity date. Maturity date as in the promissory note will expire on this date. The payment should be made before the maturity date. The endorsement should be done before the maturity date. The delivery should be done before the maturity date. Because obviously, guys, you see, no, it's 24 December 2025. After this, it's going to get done. It's going to get over. There's always an expiry period, no, products or anything, right? I'm sure you all go to a shop to buy a packet of bread. There is always an expiry period which you will check, correct? So this is nothing but the expiry period of your negotiable instrument. Okay. There's also a date written here. Generally, this is the date when this bill is actually made, when this promissory note was actually made. Okay, but again, the date that is important for us is this one, the maturity date. Okay, so before the maturity date, the bill can be transferred. Now, what do you mean by free from defects? Now, what do you mean? What is exactly free from defects? Okay, please focus, please concentrate. Now, before that, guys, as you all can see on the screen, we had a ranker, AIR 1. And fortunately, even he was just one of us. Lakeem Shetty, his name was. We are so proud of him, so proud of him. He was from the south and he secured an AIR 1 all over India, rank number 1, guys. And of course, because you know the hard work, the dedication that he showed towards his efforts, the efforts that he showed towards this entire CMA journey. So keeping that into our mind, we did gift him a car, Akash Agarwal classes. We gifted him a car, not because, you know, like not being very materialistic, but because he deserved it. He just deserves it. So yes, we are very proud of him. Hoping to give many more cards. Okay, moving on. Yes, so as I was saying, free from defects. Now, what do you exactly mean by free from defects? So, Mr. A. Mr. A, it's a very cliche name. Okay, he is Anna. You know, in Pune, we call Anna Sahib, we call, okay? The people who are very respectable, we call them as Anna Sahib. So, I don't know if it's the same genre in South. Okay, Anna, then this one is Kaka. Okay, and we need one more person who apparently has no hair right now on his head, and he is Chacha. Okay, so we have Anna, Kaka, and we have Chacha. So these are the three parties. Now, Anna gave certain goods and services to Kaka. Now, will Kaka have to pay him back? Will Kaka have to give him consideration? Okay, so there was a bill of exchange, or there was a promissory note, or there was a check, any negotiable instrument that was exchanged within them. Okay, now, let's consider a vice versa situation. Okay, let's consider this. Again, I'm getting down to extremely simple words. If there is any confusion, please let me know. So, Anna has to make a payment to Kaka. Okay, Kaka, so he draws a negotiable instrument. Kaka had to make a payment to Chacha. Got it? So, this negotiable instrument, Anna gave it to Kaka, and Kaka, instead of taking the money, he forwarded the negotiable instrument. He kind of negotiated the instrument, to be specific in law. Okay, and he gave this instrument to Chacha. Fair enough. Can it be transferred? There is nothing written as restricted or non-negotiable. So it's transferred. Okay, everything has been done fair now. And now one day, there was this little kid whose name was Pappu. And let's consider Domino's. Domino's pizza. I hope you guys like it. Okay. So yes, Pappu. What Pappu does is, one day he goes to Chacha's house and he's playing around and he sees this negotiable instrument lying there. And he steals the negotiable instrument. What did he do? Steal it. And he stole the negotiable instrument and he gave it to Domino's. There were certain transactions that happened between Pappu and Domino's and he gave it to Domino's. So now this negotiable instrument is with Domino's. Okay, Domino's has no idea that Pappu has stolen it. Domino's still thinks that it's a genuine one and he has a good title to it. They do not know that he has a defective title to it. Okay, so Domino's accepted it. In law, you call it as good faith. Now, what is good faith? Good faith is anything that is done with good intentions. Pure intentions. If a contract is done in good faith with pure intentions, it's usually held valid. Okay, so now Domino's had no idea about Pappu stealing this instrument. So obviously Domino's was doing this in a good faith, correct? And because Domino's was doing this in a good faith, this negotiable instrument with Domino's, it will be valid. Okay, this thing cannot be we cannot go against it. It's going to be valid. Now, Pappu, of course, Pappu will band bajao fire. Pappu, I hope you guys are getting it, what band bajao firing is, right? So, Pappu will band bajao fire. But, Domino's, we can't do anything. Okay, but generally, the negotiable instrument, it should be free from defects. Free from defects, as in it should have a clean title. Pappu shouldn't be in the picture. If directly Chacha would have given it to any third person, it would have been okay, it would have been clean. But this kind of negotiable instrument, we call this negotiable instrument a non-clean instrument. It is not free from defects. It has a defective title. Okay, so this negotiable instrument has a defective title. Why? Because Pappu stole it. Got it? And of course, the Domino's, the other party, the transferee, they did not know anything about this defect. If Domino's would have known it and still they would have accepted it. So they would have also been a chore. They would have been a part of the chori. Correct? Now, moving on. So, as I said, now guys, there are two things which we'll be talking about right now, holder and holder in due course. Okay, first let me see, should I explain that to you later or should I explain it to you right now? Okay, no, I'll explain it to you right away. Holder and holder in due course, and then we'll go ahead with the further things. Please focus, please focus. Holder in due course. Now, what is a holder and what is a holder in due course? Okay, any holder or holder in due course, they have one basic right, that is receive payment. Correct? Holder of a negotiable instrument, who has that negotiable instrument in the hand? Excuse me, what are their rights? They have a right to receive payment. Okay, now holder in due course has one more right, that is he receives payment in the form of consideration. Now I assume we know what Contract Act provisions are. Consideration means something in return. You've done something for someone and now it's time for you to get it back in return. Okay, so yes, holder receives payment, holder in due course receives payment, but in the form of consideration. Now, seeing this plus, Obviously, can you see, because there is a plus, so they have 1 and 2. 2 rights here, whereas this one has only 1. So who is more legit owner, or who has greater rights in this entire process? Holder in due course. Simple. He has greater rights, right? Clearly, there are two things here. Okay. Now, the example that I gave you all here about Domino's. So, Domino's was receiving this negotiable instrument without the knowledge of defective title. Now, I hope you guys are getting to know the language of nego. Okay, so Domino's did not know Pappu stole it. So they did not know about the defective title and they received this instrument, correct? Now, when they have received this instrument without the knowledge, in a good faith, they become a holder in due course and this contract will be valid. Why? Good faith. Okay, so holder in due course, always, 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 the negotiable instrument is received in good faith. Holder, it might be good faith or might not be good faith. Intentions. Faith matlab intentions. Okay. It can be either of it. But if we talk about holder in due course, always good faith. Always. Now, holder in due course, guys, he has greater rights. For example, if let me tell you, A was supposed to pay B, B was supposed to pay C. Okay. Now, when A was supposed to pay B, B instead of taking the payment, he forwarded it to C. He negotiated the instrument to C. This is what we've been seeing all this while. Negotiable matlab it's this only. Okay. Now, B negotiated it to C. Now, in such a scenario, if C is a holder in due course, HDC, holder in due course. If C is a holder in due course, and if C does not receive his money, he can take B to the court, he can take A to the court. So he can sue all the parties before him for recovery of his amount. All the parties. Okay. So once again, I'm repeating, guys. C can sue B, C can sue A. He can sue all the parties. Okay. If he is a holder in due course. Now, if we talk about holder, so if B is the holder, he can only sue A. Or if even forget about B being the holder, let's consider your C is the holder. So C can only sue B, not A. So holder can sue only the transferor. Correct? Only the previous party and not all the parties. Whereas holder in due course can sue all the parties. Okay, now what exactly holder in due? Why is this, ma'am, that holder in due course has so many rights and holder doesn't have so many rights? That's what we'll be seeing now. So you remember the Shantikala example? Wait, let me get back to the Shantikala example. Yes. So if you remember the Shantikala example, so Shantikala sold certain goods and services. Got it? She sold it to Kantikala. Kantikala was supposed to pay Shantikala. But what did Shantikala say? Don't give me the money. Give my brother the money. Okay, has the brother done anything to get the money? No. He's just sitting there. He's just getting the money. He hasn't sold any goods and services. But Shantikala, has she sold goods and services? Remember this example, we just did it. So Shantikala is the HDC, holder in due course. And Pushpa, her brother, is the holder. He has the rights to receive the payment because Shantikala said so. He cannot sue all the parties. He can sue only one previous party. Whereas if we talk about Shantikala, who is a holder in due course, she has all the rights. Because she has sold goods and services. So she is getting this money just not randomly, but consideration against consideration. Yes, guys, got that? So this is what a holder and holder in due course difference is. So who has greater rights? Holder in due course. You all need to know this. This is very important. Holder and holder in due course. Okay. Now, also, the holder in due course can sue someone on his own name. Okay. And he can sue all the parties. Now, negotiable instruments. Now, there are certain things that are not included in negotiable instruments and these are specifically specified. MCQ point of view, this is important. It can be asked. Okay. MCQs we will be solving. As and when we get done with this chapter, we will be solving MCQs. Okay. But then yes, this is important. Which all are not included in negotiable instrument? Transfer deeds, deposit receipts, and maid's receipts. These are not negotiable instrument. Okay. Transfer deeds as in the ones that have share certificates. Okay. Now let's talk about presumptions. Again, as I said, negotiable instrument, we consider that this was accepted. The other person knew that this is happening and this was accepted and this was transferred because we had done certain things for the other person. We had sold certain goods and services, and that's why we are getting this money in return. Okay. As I said, negotiable instrument has a date. Okay. Remember, I told you when I just drew a promissory note, I told you here there is a date written on which this is made. Okay, so a date has to be written. Also, the maturity date has to be written, that when this is going to be matured, when this is going to be paid. Time of acceptance, as I said, it must be accepted within reasonable time. Okay, you can't take very long. Like for example, if we talk about a check. Okay, so the check if given today, if the date is written, so within 3 months you can go and deposit it in the bank. If you take more than 3 months, the bank will not accept this check. The expiry date, it's over. Okay, this is law. Also, we assume that the negotiable instrument is negotiated, transferred before maturity. Again, remember, I have already covered this concept. I told you this was the date, 24th December. So we are assuming that it's been transferred before this date. Correct? Okay. 3 negotiable instruments that have been recognized by law: promissory note, bills of exchange, check. There has to be a stamp always. It has to be stamped, guys. Has to be compulsory. So there should be a stamp. Also, as I told you all, holder in due course and holder. I hope you guys know the difference now. Okay, moving on. As I said, if a negotiable instrument is obtained by fraud, if a negotiable instrument is obtained by like unlawful means, illegal means, okay, but the other person obtained it in good faith. Matlab, for example, I'll just clear it. Like I stole it from someone, I obtained it in an illegal way, but you took it from me in good faith. Okay, so this good faith thing will prevail and you will get all the rights. Okay, we've already discussed that, and this is for holder in due course. Okay. Now, if we talk about types of negotiable instrument, already I explained you the 3 types which have been accepted by law. The statute one, and the ones that I said ki if in your area a document is used generally to exchange money for such transactions, even that can be termed as nego. Okay. Now, classification of negotiable instrument, there are 2 types mainly, guys: bearer and by order. Bearer as in bearer, no name. Whoever has this instrument in his hand will get the money. Simple. Whoever has this instrument in the hand will get the money. That is bearer instrument. Okay. And if we talk about order, a name is written. Like for example, if I give you a blank check, it's a bearer instrument. Blank check as in I haven't written your name on it. So it's a bearer instrument. Order, I have written your name on the check. So it's an order instrument. Okay, so these are the 2 types. Bearer, of course, can be negotiated on and on and on. Order instrument, the name is written. Okay, now negotiable instrument, as I said, it's payable to a particular person or his order until and unless it's the transferability of it is stopped. Now, inland and foreign, guys, this is very easy. The name itself suggests it. What is an inland instrument? Inland instrument, it's drawn and payable in India. Okay, it is drawn and payable. The person is sitting in India and is drawing the promissory note, bill of exchange, check, whichever nego. It's drawing in India. The action is happening in India and it is payable also in India. Okay. And other than that, all other bills are foreign bills. Now, demand and time instrument. Again, guys, everyone focus. What is demand and time instrument? We are almost getting done with unit 1. Wow. So demand and time instrument means if a demand instrument, for example, it means the time you have this instrument in your hand and you go to ask for money on demand. Mood swing happened today. Early morning I got up. There was a mood swing and I felt, no, today I want the money of this negotiable instrument on demand. you'll have to pay that person. Whenever that person demands it, you'll have to pay it. Okay. And if we talk about time instrument, now what is a time instrument? Time instrument, specified time is written 24th December 2025. Specified time is written 3 months from today, and today's date is written. Again, specified time is there. Okay, but demand, whenever that person comes to you and says, give me my money, give me my rokda, you'll have to give it. Demand, time instrument, date is written, the money will be given accordingly. Got it, guys? I hope nobody has any doubts till now. Okay, moving on. Now, what is genuine accommodation or fictitious bill? And fictitious bill. Okay, so first I'll explain you genuine bill. Genuine bill as in when all the law, it's done entirely lawfully. Everything has been followed. The drawee, payee, all the provisions, everything is legal, everything is legit. It's a genuine bill. Now, what is an accommodation bill? Accommodation bill, the bill which is done without consideration. For example, now I'm going to explain you one thing. I hope you remember the Shantikala example. Shantikala had given the money to Pushpa. Remember? Similar to that. Now listen. So this is Rocky. Rocky is a KGF guy, right? If I'm not wrong. He's Rocky. This one is Shakti. And this is a bank. Andhra Pradesh Bank. Okay, now Shakti is a pretty little girl. Rocky is alpha, complete alpha personality. So now what does Shakti do? Unfortunately, Shakti right now is in need of certain money. She wants to start her own business. So she wants some amount of money. Let's consider 50 lakhs. No, 50 lakhs is too much, yeah. Let's consider 75,000. Okay. She needs 75,000. So Shakti wants 75,000 and she goes to Rocky and she says, hi Rocky, we are such amazing friends. We are such good friends. So why don't, can I not borrow 75,000 from you? I promise that I will return it to you. Okay, this is what she tells Rocky. Rocky says, okay, actually right now I don't have money, Shakti, but I really want to help you. But right now I don't have money. So Shakti says, but what's the use? How will you help me if you don't have money right now? So that time Rocky says, don't worry. Even if I don't have the money right now, do one thing. Go to Andhra Pradesh Bank. Okay, and draw a bill of exchange on me right now. Draw a bill of exchange on me. Order me that I am supposed to pay you 75,000 after 3 months. This is the ideal period generally. For examples, we take this. Okay, so Shakti says, what's going to happen after that? What if I just draw a bill of exchange on you? So Rocky says, draw a bill of exchange on me. On that, you write it that I order Rocky to pay 75,000 after 3 months. Okay, this is what you write on that bill. So this means that the moment this bill of exchange is drawn, will Shakti get the rights to receive 75,000? But when? After 3 months. Correct? But Shakti wants it right away. She wants it right now. So Rocky suggests, go to this bank and take the bill. Take the bill to the bank, give it to the bank, show it to them. Tell them that Rocky has to pay me money, but not right now, after 3 months. But I need the money right now. Okay. Now, if you see here, has Rocky bought anything from Shakti? Has he bought any goods? Has he bought any services? No. But is he still paying her? Is he still ready to give her the money? Okay, this is out of affection. This is out of anything, whatever you might call. But this is not a goods and services wala consideration. Correct? So here Shakti goes to the bank, Andhra Pradesh Bank, and she tells the manager, this is the bill. Rocky is going to pay me after 3 months. So right now you pay me the amount and after 3 months, you go to Rocky and you recover that from him. Fair enough. Sure. So AP Bank sees the bill. They're like, okay, you need 75,000. We get it. But whenever we go to Rocky after 3 months, we'll get it. But right now we'll have to pay you 75,000. We need to have some benefit, no? So what can we do, Shakti? We'll pay you 70K out of this. Remaining 5,000, we'll take it as a commission. Why? Because we are paying you, no, right now. You don't have to wait for 3 months. We are paying you right now. Okay, so 5,000 let us keep. That is our benefit. That is our profit that we are giving you money. And you take 70,000. Now, what benefit Shakti is getting from this? She needed the money urgently. So, fine. If not 75, at least 70 she is getting. No, something is better than nothing. And majority part she is getting. So she is getting the money immediately. What is the use for the bank? The bank here can recover the entire 75,000. But they gave only 70, so they are earning 5,000 profit. And what is the benefit of Rocky? Maybe today he is helping her. But some or the other day he will also recover his amount from Shakti. Got it, guys? Yes? So these kind of bills. Now, first, let me tell you, after 3 months, what happens? After 3 months, AP Bank goes to Rocky and they ask Rocky for the money. Now, Rocky is supposed to pay them. He'll be like, oh yes, I had promised, I was helping a friend. So yes, I had promised to pay you. Now pay her. So now she gave you the bill. Now I'm paying you. So now the bank thing is over. Okay, now of course he will recover his money later from Shakti. Obviously, that is there. Got it, guys? So such bills are known as accommodation bills. There are no exchange of goods and services that has happened here. Fictitious bill. Fictitious bill means the drawer and the pay. Pay is the one who receives the money. Drawer is the one who draws the bill, who makes the bill. Okay. So in case of bills of exchange, they both can be the same person. Okay. So drawer and pay, whenever they are fictitious, they are fake, they are false. This bill is a fictitious bill. Okay. Now, clean and documentary bill. Clean as in when there is a bill and there are nothing attached to it behind it. There are no documents, there are no receipts, there is nothing that has been attached to it. That's known as a clean bill. And if we talk about a documentary bill means there are certain documents that have been attached behind the bill for reference. Okay. Now, ambiguous bill. Now, what is an ambiguous bill? Ambiguous, the meaning of ambiguous means confusing. Okay, so we are not sure if this is a promissory note or if this is a bill of exchange. We are not able to make up our mind. So what do? Now, if I see a document and if I see that, okay, this is a promissory note. First of all, I'm confused what this is. But if I see it and I decide that, nahin yaar, this is a promissory note. So every time I negotiate this, all other parties will be calling this a promissory note. All other parties, compulsory. Okay. So that is ambiguous instrument. If it's like confusing. Also, one more thing. Ambiguous instrument. For example, I promise to pay so and so on this is date. Now, amount of rupees 10 lakh. And bracket mein it's written rupees. Let's consider rupees 1 lakh only, and in numbers it was 10 lakh and here it is 1 lakh. You have to write in words also. Now again, this is ambiguous. We won't understand which one to pay. Are we supposed to pay 10 lakhs or are we supposed to pay 1 lakh? Correct, there is this confusion. So always remember, this is an ambiguous instrument first of all, because there's a confusion. Any instrument which has certain sort of confusion is an ambiguous one. So remember, in such a case, the one that is written in words, that will be considered. Okay, yes guys. Moving on is an inchoate instrument. Now what is an inchoate instrument? Inchoate instrument means an incomplete instrument. Incomplete instrument as in certain things you have not written on it. If we specify, it's the amount. You have not written the amount on it and you have been negotiating this instrument. Now let me give you an example for this. Again, okay, so this, I'll just call this Mr. A and Mr. B for now. Mr. B is all good spiky hair. Mr. A is all good bushy hair. Okay. Now, Mr. A, he gave an instrument to Mr. B. Okay. And there was a stamp duty that he paid. And as per the stamp duty, as I said, remember that stamping is compulsory, okay? And as per the stamp duty, after the payment of stamp duty, you get to know that what the amount was in this instrument. So let's consider that paid the stamp duty, and as per the stamp duty payment, the instrument amount, okay, as in the consideration that is written here, or the payable amount, the instrument amount was coming up to rupees, let's consider 15 lakhs. Okay, too much, again, too much. 15,000. Let's consider the instrument amount was coming to rupees 15,000. Okay, now, Mr. A gave this to Mr. B. Mr. A was supposed to pay. Okay, once again, I'm writing Mr. A to pay Mr. B. But this document, he did not write the amount in it. He left it blank. Now, Mr. B was supposed to pay to Mr. C. ठीक है, again Mr. B to pay Mr. C. So instead of paying, he forwarded this negotiable instrument. Because there was no amount written, Mr. C wrote an amount of rupees 30,000. Why? Because Mr. B had to pay him 30,000. And the stamp duty that was paid was enough to accumulate this amount of 30,000. Okay, so now when Mr. C wrote 30,000 on this, actually Mr. A owed how much? 15. But amount was how much written on that instrument? 30. Now whose fault is it? A or C? A fault. The reason it's an incurred instrument, he left it incomplete. Why did he leave it incomplete? Correct? He could have given it by specifying the amount. But because he did not specify the amount, he left it incomplete. This becomes an incurred instrument. So now Mr. A will have to pay him 30,000. Yes. Now, of course, he can recover it from B later on, whatever. But yes, he will have to pay 30,000. Got it? Because Mr. C has done it in good faith. He got an incurred instrument. He got a incomplete instrument. He completed it. Fair enough. Got it, guys? But amount, how much you can write? Subject to the stamp duty paid on it. You cannot write a higher amount. Okay. Moving on. Escrow is done for security purposes, as in it's done just to make the other person, you're making sure that the other person is doing his job. So for example, if I tell you, you do XYZ, only then I will pay you. Only then you will get this bill. Okay, this is an escrow instrument. This is done for security purposes. Okay, as I said, drawer, promissory note, you call it the maker. Drawee is the person on whom the instrument is drawn. He pays. Payee is the person who receives the money. Okay, acceptor, as I said, the person, he literally writes it like 2 lines and he writes it. Acceptor. Okay. When a person signs it that yes, I've accepted upon this bill, it's an acceptor. Payee, I told you, holder in due course, I have told you all in details. Now, if we talk about a minor, generally minor is not competent to a contract, but in case of negotiable instrument, yes, he is not, he cannot attract liability, he is not eligible to enter into a contract, but, let's consider this negotiable instrument. It was drawn by 2 parties. Okay, so he is Shah Rukh Khan and he is Aryan Khan. Aryan Khan is the son of Shah Rukh Khan. And let's consider he's 16-year-old. And SRK, of course, I think he's 50 plus, right? Let's consider 50. 50-year-old. So now, Aryan Khan is a minor. They've drawn this bill that, okay, we will pay you so and so amount. Okay? But if we talk about SRK, he's a major. So this will be valid. Why? Because it's major plus minor. If there was only minor, then it's invalid. Got it? Now in this case, the entire liability would be attracted by Shah Rukh Khan. Okay. Now next, moving on, agent. As I said, what is a principal and agent? Principal is the main person and agent represents him in his absence. So it's considered that principal and agent are equal to each other. Like if agent is doing something, it's considered that he is doing it on behalf of the principal. It's considered likewise. Okay. So yes, if we talk about agent, agent, if he specifies to the other person that look, I am representative of this original person, this guy is the OG guy, he is the OG one, okay, I'm just sitting here and I'm doing transactions on his behalf, and the principal also has knowledge about the same, it's been done in good faith, so this is considered as a valid instrument. No personal liability or anything will be attracted by the agent. But if the agent is saying it, that like if he's hiding the facts, if he's hiding that he's a representative, so of course he will be personally liable. Then next if we talk about last, legal representative. Okay, this is the last topic, guys. Now what is a legal representative? In case of legal representative, okay, now let's take an example of Amitabh Bachchan. Do you guys know who Amitabh Bachchan is? And Abhishek Bachchan. Long live Amitabh Bachchan, but the example I'm going to give, I'm sorry, Mr. Big B. Okay. So, Amitabh Bachchan and Abhishek Bachchan. If we talk about Amitabh Bachchan, he, whatever his age is, let's consider, he, unfortunately, due to certain situations, long live Mr. Bachchan, but still I'm just giving an example. Due to certain situations, he passed away, unfortunately. So all his assets will be gone to Abhishek Bachchan, correct? So let's consider assets worth rupees 50 crore. They were passed on to Abhishek Bachchan. Legal representative inherent, okay? Now Abhishek Bachchan was all happy about, he was of course sad that his Amitabh Bachchan passed away, but he was happy that he got 50 crore and things like that. And the moment Abhishek Bachchan was celebrating, a bank manager walks in very happily and he says, Abhishek Bachchan, you don't know that Amitabh Bachchan had taken a loan from us. So it's his liability of 100 crore, and now that you are his representative, you will have to pay that to us. Breaking news. A twist in the picture, correct? So now they say that you'll have to pay 100 crore to us. Now what will Abhishek Bachchan do? As per law, assets, how much ever he's inherited, that is 50 crore, he will, up to that extent, he will clear off the liability. So out of 100 crore, 50 crore liability will be cleared, and 50 crore will be like not his problem, because he is obviously not going to give his own money, because it was Amitabh Bachchan who took up this liability. So equivalent to assets, the liability is paid off, not more than that. Got it, guys? Clear? And that's it. Hey everybody, we are done with unit number 1, and in the next session we will be continuing with unit 2. Okay, so yes guys, thank you so much. I hope you all have understood. The moment we get done with negotiable instrument, we will be practicing certain important questions, previously asked MCQs, expected MCQs and everything else. Okay, till then everybody, take care of yourselves. See you super soon, and thank you for all the love that every time you've been giving us. Thank you so much guys. Take care. I'll see you soon.